Guys, what's happening? So today we're going to go over recording vocals and guitar into a loop pedal. Now, not all inexpensive or not all loop pedals have an auxiliary input where you normally would plug an MP3 player, play along with your favorite tune, record yourself with it, and of course you'll pick up it and you, right? And so I can't say all of them do it, but there are a number that do. And I have the new X loop core pedal. It's not the deluxe version, it's the regular one. And it's a copy of a Boss RC3, but way, way better, okay? Actually, it's a million times better at almost twice less expensive. So, in other words, the Boss RC3 is more than twice the price of the new X loop core. So, and you get so much less in the Boss one. But I've had people ask me, well, how do you get your vocals in there? Well, can I hook a microphone and my guitar in, even using a Y adapter? Well, you could, but you have no real control over your mic, and most mics, of course, don't have preamp, right? So they're just like a condenser mic or whatever. So if they're not preamped, you've got a problem. And you would still have a problem regardless, because you're not going to have proper control. So what you need to do is have a mixing board that has a variable record out, so you can set how much signal goes into the loop core. I had a Yamaha MG82CX mixer, which you'll find on my YouTube channel, as well as this new MW12X, which is a 12 channel. And this one here, I can assign whatever channels I want to be recorded to whatever device, be it my loop core, my computer, what have you. Whatever I want to hook up that can record music, I can assign those channels that I want, and only those channels I want. Even if I have all the other channels turned on and all kinds of jazz is going on in the background, the only thing that's going to get recorded is the channels that I assign, which is really sweet. And it's even nicer that I have the variable record out, and I can run it through either 1/4-inch jacks, record out, or I have RCA record out, and I've got USB record out that can go direct to my computer. So you should actually think about investing in a mixing board, and then you can record directly into your loop core pedal that way. If you don't have a loop core pedal that has a auxiliary input where it allows this sort of thing to take place, then you're going to have to go like USB out to your computer, or some other in-between box where you can use RCA out, whatever you need to do. But I can tell you this for known experience, with the Yamaha MG82CX and other mixers like it, if you have to go through your monitor out channel in order to push a signal out, because see, the record out on the MG82CX is not variable, it's fixed, and it doesn't really put out much signal at all. And so I went to my music store and I talked to the guys, and they said, well, you can go through your monitor out. Okay, sure, we tried that, but it really didn't work very well, and I really wasn't happy. And whenever I turned the monitor up just a little bit too much, it would backfeed the system, because I was trying to get more output to go to the pedal, because it still wasn't doing enough, and there was a bunch of bad noise in the background being recorded too, which was another problem. So you really need a mixer that has the variable record out levels, and then this way you go ahead, you play your stuff, you get your channels all set exactly where you want them for your vocals, etc. And then you can go ahead and record the stuff to your looper pedal or to your computer. But in this video I'm going to show you about recording to your looper pedal, and this is the best way to get your vocals and your guitar in there, and any other instruments. If I had a piano player in here playing on my piano, then I could get him or her into the mix as well, playing a song with me, all going to the looper pedal. All we got to do first is figure out the balance of the sound levels so that everything mixes right. Now, also part of doing a proper mix for recording so that you sound really good in the end is you need reverb on your main vocalist, okay? So be it you, right, if you're the main vocalist. You also need to have whatever effects you want to use. Okay, you don't necessarily have to have effects on your guitar. You don't, but you do need that reverb on your microphone. Now, my wireless mic, this is a Newmark wireless mic I picked up from Long McQuaid. And I have reverb, and you would think that this reverb is actually a lot of reverb. Trust me, when you hear the playback, you'll see why it's up this high, because you really won't notice it after. And now as far as my guitar goes, I'm using a little bit of reverb that's built into the amp. It's my Marshall MG15 amp. And I've also going to be running my chorus pedal, so I should actually turn that on. And this is the kind of sound we're getting, and the amplifier is mic'd up with a PGA 48 mic. I know I need an SM57, give me time, and I need money, so then I can buy one. But this does work really well for now. Now that's what I'm getting. Now, as far as the effects go on the board for that channel, which I've called it amp mic, I am not using any effects on the board itself for that mic. I'm only using effects for my vocals. And my effects are in the middle for the effect on the channel. My return is just below middle, and my perimeters, I'm going to actually have it in the middle. And I'm using an effect called Reverb Stage 2 on the Yamaha mixer that has the 16 effects, like the MG82CX, and this one that would be channel 6 for your effect. So, and my record out is actually set at, well, it says, what is this? Number 5. So 5 is how much signal I'm actually pushing out. My house is actually around 5 as well, and house is the stereo output to the monitors. And so that's where things sit with those. As far as my my mic goes, it's actually around just a little bit above the 5, and my mic on my amplifier is it says 10 on the dial, but it's, you know, it's below middle, so because you have to have more vocal than you do guitar, obviously. So let's record something for you guys, and then we'll play it back, and you'll actually hear a really huge difference. Open up the prison doors and set the captives free. Lord, I want to be like Jesus in every way. I want to walk on water, I want to split the sea, I want to move the mountain, turn it upside down, make it spin around and round. Now this is the playback, right from the pedal. I wanna serve you, Lord, for the rest of my days. I want to be like Jesus. I wanna make the lame to walk and the blind to see. Open up the prison doors and set the captives free. Lord, I want to be like Jesus in every way. So you can hear that you don't hear all that massive reverb out of the vocals, and you're getting just an accented amount of that chorus and reverb in there from the amplifier and the chorus pedal, right? So this makes your tune sound so much nicer, more rounded, and and it does sound way different than when you're recording it live, right? So once it goes in and gets processed, boom, and then you can just take your pedal, because this has a USB port on it, and hook it up to the computer, copy the file off, put it through your program, run your fade in and your fade out, and you're done, because your mix is already done for you. You don't have to sit there and mess around with this or that. You get your mix all set up ahead of time through your mixing board. And these boards really are not that expensive. And there's a lot of board choices out there. So if you're not a Yamaha fan, okay, there's Peavey, there's Mackie, there's all kinds of choices out there. Some boards are actually good boards, and some actually suck. So what you want for features, okay, is assignable record outs. So you want to be able to say, okay, I want this channel, this channel, and this channel to go to my record output ports, okay, be it USB, be it RCA, or 1/4-inch jack record outs, okay, whatever is on there. You also want a board that has variable output record out, so a slider that can push the signal stronger. Okay, now my record out is actually, it's at 5, which is, about midpoint of the slider. And I find that that's actually really good, because anything much more than that would be like really driving too much through, I think. I can have all these channels all turned on and active if I want, okay? But none of them are going to go into that pedal except for the ones that I tell them to. That's why you want a board that has assignable record out, so you get to actually choose what goes through and what does not go through. Okay, so that's what I would recommend, though. You do what you want. I also have compressors for my first 4 channels, so I can, and I've also got high pass filter switches, which are actually active on any of my microphones. Of course, you got your gains, and you got to set your gains up properly, because you don't want to be peaking or distorting things out. So having a board that also has, it's called a PFL function, it'll actually show you a preview of the signal and how much you're pushing through the board. I don't know how well you're going to see this, but let me turn the mic on here. Check, 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 check. So you might, I don't know how much you're going to see this in the video, but you can see the meters are moving up. Hello, hello, boom, 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 boom. Okay, now you won't see those meters moving up unless the PFL is actually active. Okay, so this is to give you an idea of what kind of vocal signal you're pushing through. Now on my guitar here, I hit the PFL. So I'm at about -15, just touching the -10. And so when I go, let me turn this one off. When I go to the microphone, check, 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 check. So I'm pushing -20, little peaks to -15, which is good. That's actually really good. So I'm way away from the red zone, which is where we want to be. So now let's play this back, the looper pedal with what we recorded, and we'll turn the PFL on for it. So right now we're -20, peak hitting -15. I wanna serve you, Lord, for the rest of my days. I want to be like Jesus. I wanna make the lame to walk in the... So we're hitting little peaks to -10, which is still great. It's still really, really good. We're nowhere near clipping anything, so we're not distorting our signal. And this is very important, that you don't distort, you don't overdrive stuff. But at the same time, you want good output quality in the end too, right? So, but I would recommend a board like the MW12CX by Yamaha. They have newer boards out. They actually have one that's really nice. It's almost $500 though, but it also has 24 effects and all kinds of bells and whistles. It's a really nice board. This board also has an auxiliary out channel, which I didn't have in my MG82CX. So this thing has way more features. But it only has one auxiliary out, which is fine. I mean, that's all I actually need if I actually needed it, you know. So it's an option for me to use it if I want to use it or I don't. And I got a lot of other controls over my aux area, my monitors, and everything. But I really like this board. I think it's a great board. But at the same time, the Nux Loop Core pedal, if you know you got $130, I mean, it's a great pedal. Now that's Canadian price, so much cheaper for you guys in the States and other places. But it is the NUX or NUX Loop Core. It's a yellow colored one. You'll know it from the deluxe version. Go ahead and get the deluxe if you want to. You know, up the ante, right? Built-in rhythms, auxiliary port is in there. I've had zero issues with this pedal since I figured out how to use it, which is great too. You do have re-output dials on here, and my center one is in the middle, and my larger dial on the bottom is actually at 3 o'clock. So 12 o'clock and 3 o'clock. So middle at 12, secondary is at 3. And like I said, you've got a lot of rhythms in this thing, and you have 2 time signatures. You got 4/4 and 3/4 timing, and a lot of variances on those too. You can, you know, keep tapping the button and get, you know, faster or really slow drum beats, you know, type of thing. But you can also have other things too. My keyboard is actually hooked up to this system as well, and I put a headphone jack in, even though there's no headphones hooked up. And so now I've got a headphone jack to cut off my internal speaker, so I just get the piano. Stereo. That should be outputting. I had this out and do this earlier. Oh, that's piano mic. That's why it happened earlier. Piano mic. I keep hitting the wrong one. Piano. There we go. I think I should put my piano in channel 1. So this is the rhythm beat from my piano. Right? And I've got tons and tons of different styles. And I can change the speed of these any way I want. So I've got tons and tons of access to drum patterns and whatnot that I can access from my keyboard into my mixer. And like I said, anything that happens on this keyboard, if I want it to record to the pedal, it records to the pedal. Okay, so let's just take the pedal. That's record. And stop that. Play it back. A little loud. So, mixer's really handy. And makes it so much easier to use a microphone with a pedal that is not necessarily designed to handle a mic and a guitar at the same time. Because I did try the Y adapter trick. It didn't really work because the mic isn't preamped, so very poor signal. Even with a preamped mic, like a wireless mic always has that preamp system, really it doesn't do a lot for you to control things correctly. It's very difficult actually. So your best bet is go through a mixer, hook all your gear into the mixer, and zip it out to the pedal that way into the aux port, and that is the ultimate way to record your music, okay? Especially with vocals. If you're just playing guitar, who cares? You don't need a mixer or any of that jazz. Just play and hook your pedal up to your normal system, and away you go. But I want to amp up the mic with or mic up the amp, sorry, get a little tongue twister. Mic up the amplifier, because I prefer actually the sound the way it gets regenerated that way. And of course I want everything to go into my loop core in the end as my main recording device for now. Eventually I'll have my USB record out into my computer and I'll be able to do it into there. And at that time we'll show you how that works on this mixer and you know, what kind of sound reproduction we get out of that compared to doing it this way through the loop core pedal. So if you have a loop core pedal with auxiliary input, you should have no problems being able to do this. You can get your guitar, you get your vocals in there, you get your piano player, hell, you can get your drum player if your drummer is mic'd up, and if he's on electric drums, hey, pipe him into a mixing board and balance him out and control him that way so that you can balance your mix proper, and you can put out some really kick-butt music recordings, and yeah, it doesn't really cost a whole lot in the end. And you don't need any special room setups. What you don't want in your room that you're going to record in is a lot of echo. You want to minimize that as much as possible. Now I'm in a small room in here that's about 4, 8, 10 by 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, about 11. So, you know, it's not a very big room, but I have like almost zero echo in here. I don't even think I can really hear anything that's in here for echo. So I got all my guitars in here, I got my amps, I got my computer, and all these items dampen the room, but it also fills up space too, so be aware of that, you know, the more junk you put in your room, the smaller things get. So you want to have some room to do stuff, obviously. I don't have to worry about a drummer. I got drum beater machines for that. And there is a really cool pedal called a Beat Buddy that I eventually want to get my hands on one of these days, and it can do so much more than anything else out there for drum beats. So also on your vocals, very important key thing for you, a wind screen to get that wind noise away. A lot of hiss, you know, gets cleaned up. Also get yourself a pop filter. I would recommend a double layer one like this particular Apex one, and if you want to know about it, look up Apex pop filter on my channel, and you'll get all the model number specifics on it, and I do a test to show you the difference between sonic booms and no more. You know, because when you say words like would have P and a B in it pronounced anywhere in the words, among other things, it makes a boom, you know, and it can really mess your recording up bad. So the pop filter, definitely a great investment, and use both together, and awesome. Okay, and anyway, so that's basically covers it for this video. You know, if you want to know more, just ask, and I'll do the best I can to answer your questions. I do know a fair amount about mixing systems. Of course, I know a ton about guitars and gear and pedals and all that other jazz. You know, like I said, as far as a mixing board goes, I've named out the features that you should actually look into, which I think are probably the best key features of a mixer for home studio recording for your music. It'll definitely do the job and then some for you, you know, that's for sure. You've heard the results yourself, you know, just from doing this live and then recording it, the playback, and how there's a huge difference in how things end up sounding in the end. So anyways, that's all I got for you for this one. So thanks for watching. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I got a lot more gear videos, by the way, coming. I've got some new stuff coming in that you guys that are music freaks and guitar freaks are going to really love. Of course, as always, I got RC videos that are going to be going up soon as well. I got some stuff in mind. You know, just got to get a little bit more time to do things. But in the meantime, enjoy and have fun, and catch you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.